Gomez and Company on TK99 and TK105, Syracuse's classic rock.
8:25, as that we welcome in Leigh Baldwin, the official financial advisor here on the show from dollarinvestmentclub.com. Leigh, how you doing?
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone.
2 or 3 times a year, you have to follow Mr. Skin from MrSkin.com. But at the same time, we're amazed. It's tongue-in-cheek and entertaining. But as a business, it's a guy that took a shot at something and turned it into like a very lucrative business.
As a capitalist, I love that, right? Like you just never know where you can find success.
I'm trying to say, because every now and then I will see like a financial type quote that will, like this here. This is from Steve Jobs. Ideas are easy. The hard part is waking up every day and shaping them into some kind of reality.
There you go.
Yeah.
Which is what he did with that. It started as a crazy idea at happy hour,
right?
Literally, in Chicago, and a friend has literally said, "Man, you ought to start a website. That's hysterical." Huh. And that was, almost 30 years ago.
That's what you were saying. That's incredible.
And then this is what he does now, and it's been a very lucrative, profitable business for him.
And he's a great guest when he comes on.
Good dude.
Yeah.
I got big shoes to fill.
Yeah. People are listening for the nudity, but often I'm like, I've never seen that movie. That's interesting. And I had to look up the beard, Hide That Beard movie. It's a monster movie. It's like a fantasy.
Really? I've never heard of it either.
I have not either.
I've never heard. It took me a minute to find it, and it's only in French.
Okay.
I had to go on I directed me to a French website to find it. So, it's a weird fantasy, strange, something bad happens to her, and that's why she grows a beard. Yeah.
And he knew all about that movie.
He knew all about it. Because he's Mr. Skin. Leigh, again, one of the other quotes, I just kind of grab these when I see them, and I save them for Wednesdays. This from Peter Lynch, and he's with... Is that Fidelity?
He was Fidelity, yes, a legend in our industry.
He said that people are very careful how they spend hours trying to save $50 off an airplane flight, but then they'll put $10,000 into some crazy stock they heard about on the bus.
Yes,
which is true.
See that all the time, unfortunately, right?
Yeah,
it's
people will drive halfway across town to save 10 cents a gallon on gas,
right?
But won't think anything of going to the casino and dropping whatever,
right? Or people work so hard their whole careers and then maybe not have the knowledge or understand to either hire the right people or just know more about your money. You've worked so hard for it. Just, you can't, you have to have a little discipline. So that's for sure. Peter Lynch was also known for buy what you know. So that was what you understand, what you use in your daily life. And that way...
you're not buying some hearing some weird tip from somebody. I better get in on that without knowing anything about that business or whatever.
His book, which was out 40 years ago, was One Up on Wall Street. So it's still a kind of a go-to read. So Peter Lynch.
What are we looking at today here on March 25th, a Wednesday? What are the numbers that came out last week since we spoke? And then
really not much. We're trailing off because it is the end of the quarter. So we've got. Here we are. We're through the first quarter. Probably we want to put this in our rearview mirror because March has been a very rugged month so far, just with all that's going on, whether it be, a war in Iran or, you have interest rates going higher when we expect them to go lower. You have tariffs being legislated or ruled against. And so you try to put it all together. It's amazingly, in some weird way, I mean, the S&P is down about 4% year to date, but it's in a weird way kind of hanging in there because some of these headlines, if you were to look at them, it's like, whoa, so
kind of shocking.
So I'm going to reference a Roman philosopher, Seneca.
Really?
Gomez, yes.
Okay.
Son of Seneca the Elder. So, but
the Colgate education is paying off.
Yeah.
We're going way back.
Best 6 years of my life. But a thing called premortem is where you look at the world. There's ups and downs and things, and you can't prepare for the totally unexpected. but you have to try to fortify your thoughts and where you were at. And so with our portfolios that we manage and put together, we try to, you can't guess what's going to be the next thing over the horizon, but you want to kind of position yourself that you can kind of get through these little stretches. Last year, we would have been talking about, it was the tariff tantrum in April when things were, we were down 19% on the S&P during the month of April last year, or some number like that. And then this year we've got what we're dealing with. So if your portfolio is fortified and you can kind of, you want to position for the good times. So
kind of ride it out. And then also, like the older you get or closer to retirement, to make those adjustments too, maybe a little more conservative or less volatile type of things to kind of minimize. Might not be going up 15%, but it's not going to go down. Right.
And you try and be diversified. We talked about that last week. So you might have some international exposure. You might have fixed income, a combination of things. So, I just, this has been a tough month, and we're looking at gasoline prices getting to $4. I just drove in this morning, and we're, and that's like a high level, and that's really hurts the economy.
Yesterday I filled up, and it's the first time, I don't know the last time I paid $50 to fill my Honda. But that's what it costs.
Right.
$50 for a tank of gas.
And unfortunately, oil is pervasive in the economy. It goes into so much different manufacturing things that we use every day, not just heating our homes or driving our cars. So we're not at that point yet. But that's why we need a fast resolution. The Dow looks like it's up 500 points today. So there is maybe hope that we have something in the works that would be.
But it's a little more stable.
At least open up the strait and get things flowing again. So,
Lisa, any specific question for Leigh Baldwin, the official financial advisor here on the show?
If you had, $10,000 to invest, where would you put it?
Where would I put it? I would be investing in
35 black.
No, we just talked about that. I wish I invested in Mr. Skin like 20 years ago, but
I know. Can we buy more Micron, or is it too late?
Micron is just. I don't know if it's too late. It had a great earnings report, and then was sold down a little bit. So I would be, looking at international stocks a little bit. I would be looking also at. Software has been really killed. So there's a feeling, and yesterday, for example, Salesforce was way down again, just that AI might be really a disruptor in the software space. So I might be looking in that area and really looking to buy things that are maybe a little bit cheaper than where they were 6 months ago or a year ago. So, there's always a bull market someplace, and so now you kind of look at companies that you've been following, and if they've had a bit of a sell-off, then you either add to a position or you start a new one. So,
along those lines, like say, missing out early on with Mr. Skin or whatever. Do you know the name Ronald Wayne?
Ronald Wayne. No.
He was the third founder of Apple, alongside Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Ronald Wayne had owned 10% of Apple. Mm-hmm. But Apple, like a lot of companies early on, it was high risk. There was a lot of exposure. It didn't work.
Right.
As a lot of companies do. So he sold his stake back to those two for $800 in 1976. If he held on to it, that would be worth $320 billion today.
Oh, my God.
He zigged when he should have zagged.
Yeah.
Was there a good ending to the story? Did he end up having a good life?
I don't know. He may have.
He jumped off a bridge.
I was going to say maybe he
talking
didn't.
about?
No. Oddly enough, he went through some rough times and then founded a nudity-based film website. I don't know what happened to Ronald Wayne.
Mr. Unlucky, that's his site. So.
Yeah. But nonetheless, there you go. Sometimes early things are risky, but you know, it's like your vision and your.
And that's a colossal mistake and failure. But I do remind people, once you make an investment, once you're out of it, you can't look back.
No.
You can't torture yourself
Nope.
because you don't know. Because and for all the apples that where you would have made $350 billion, there are some that don't work out. Obviously.
That just happens. But you're right, and I think people overthink it, and it bothers them. It's like, you know what? It's rearview mirror. Look forward. Look forward.
We're always looking forward.
Yeah.
So, yep.
There you have it. Leigh Baldwin, dollarinvestmentclub.com. Log on today, get some answers to your questions, and get an account going. Leigh, we will see you next week.
You got it. Thanks, guys.